Hello world, and hello friends, welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. As you can see, I have made a moss farm, and some other farms in the distance there. Though not really that far away. Just a lava farm and a dripstone farm. These will continue to grow and get a little bit more and more. And speaking about growing, the reason I've made this moss farm is for all of the bone meal, of course. And as you may be able to tell, if you know this farm, uh, which is by Shokelcraft, by the way, if you know this farm, apparently I get some moss. But there's not really an easy way to get moss out of this system. Now, what's the system I'm talking about? Well, it is simply all of the moss gets put into the composters, and they get shot up this dropper elevator into all of these chains of hoppers to get to the dropper. But how do I get stuff out? Well, that is what I'm about to bring you along for. And I already have some supplies in my inventory. Now, the first thing I did is let this all fill up. This has been running for maybe like 1 hour, 2 hours, something like that. Got all that filled up, and there's even some backlog, which I am supplementing with some cobblestone to help push them back. So this is the furthest it's gotten. 33 in that hopper, and on this side, the same hopper, 23. And also some moss that likes to escape. Anyway, so I have turned this off so it's not too loud and also doesn't break anything as I improve this. Now what I'm going to do is I should in theory be able to get this dropper to go up once more. And then if I look for the target to be on top of this block, which I have chest for. So if I want them to deposit out of here and get in there, this should all work. Now for those of you that don't understand hoppers too much, this hopper that's underneath will pull down quicker than this will push to the side. So once this fills up, any that go in here will come over this way. So that means this will still be able to be refilled while being able to take any excess to the side. Now I'm going to run this real quick and make sure everything still works. I'm worried about this dropper not firing, because sometimes redstone can be weird. Alright, this side all looks good. It's still increasing. 35. Let's get used. Yep, and there you go. Filled back up. So yeah, this system still works, and there's none in here yet. I can always shift this over a little bit, but I want to have it be here so it's just a little easier for me to put 2 hoppers, I think, here in the middle, and get them out. I mean, maybe 1 hopper. Anyway, I think I'm confident enough that I can build this side as it's still running. Picking up some bone meal. That's fine. That's there. Oop. Ow. Yeah, as you can see, some of the bone meal just flies out right now. But I'll put these in there. I think even with that... Oh, one did get over here. That's fine. Not worried about it. I'll just put that back in there. So yeah, that's now up to 38. That's up to 42. Now, I can even add a little bit more of the buffer so that not all of the bone meal is getting sent into here. Alright, adding the buffer there, which might get filled up soon enough, and then adding the buffer to this one. Alright, buffers have been added. Now let's get these all to a centralized location. Alright, ugly hopper chains created. This will now funnel all extra bone meal from both sides into one chest, which I can then output, say on that side. Take that glass. Where can I access this guy? There we go. Boop. So now all excess bone meal will get to this chest first, and then that one. It will take a little while. I might end up closing up these hoppers, but also there's a chance I'll be making some other stuff that might need it. Oops, drop some bone meal in here. Well, I'm pretty happy with this. I don't know if I'll need a more powerful bone meal farm, or if I just need to make more of these for what I'm going to make next. Because it's going to be the first time I'm making what I'm doing next, and yeah. Probably have another time lapse of that, and I will see you on the other side. Well, I built it, um, but the game crashed when I was trying to save the replay. So yeah, you don't get to see me building this, unfortunately. Now, some of you may already know what this is. Some of you may not, so let's go over it real quick. With a simple flick of a button, I can turn this on and off. Oh, I'm getting some moss leakage. I'll figure that out eventually. So all of this starts from a stone generator. That stone gets pushed all the way over to... Where can I show you this easiest? Now, right down there. So it gets pushed all the way to there. That's going to be... Hold on. Let's turn block sounds down quite a bit. So yeah. Stone gets pushed all the way to right in front of that piston right there. It then gets mossed by that block right over there, which has a dispenser facing into it right here. Yeah, I'm not going to pretend to know how that moss works. Out of my way. So yeah, stone becomes moss. That moss will potentially grow on top of it one of these, as you can see by it spreading elsewhere. Where's a good angle here? So yeah, the moss gets moved over to there. Eventually, an azalea bush will get grown onto that right side. That right side, there's a dispenser that gets bone meal thrown into it. That azalea tree turns into a tree, which turns that moss into rooted dirt. The oak logs get exploded over there. I'll show you that in a little bit. The rooted dirt gets pushed all the way over to here, gets turned into mud. That mud gets pushed over dripstone, which will then slowly turn into clay, and then gets pushed into here to also get exploded. Now, it does only happen every four pushes of everything. For more information, I will link the Exuma Void video that I followed. It wasn't actually a tutorial, so I kind of had to work with the images I got, what he said, and also just kind of figure stuff out on my own. So I did create a redstone testing world to create this, copy and paste it over here, though just in Lightmatica I did build this block by block. And now I've just been keeping an eye on this, trying to figure out, okay, is everything still good? Do the explosions still work? And there still is some room for improvement. The most notable improvement is this right here. This is my bone meal split system. So all the bone meal from my bone meal farm above gets brought all the way down, kind of ugly, but brought all the way over here to get distributed. Now, bone meal did fill up these 3 slots and that full slot when I started, before I turned this on, so that means there's some more bone meal. That means that my bone meal production is not fast enough for this farm. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I might only turn this on here and there, but then again, to get the quantity of clay that I'm looking for, I might need to do more. The other improvements that I need to make are with this collection system. From Exuma Void's video, if you watch it, he just had this come out to here. So there's just a wall right here. I only had one collection system. I expanded this. Oh, here comes T. There goes TNT. Hi, slimes. So yeah, the collection system only went to here, so there's only one hopper. But I needed a little bit more space. I fell off again. I needed a little bit more space to get these to explode well, so I added just a temporary little hopper there to collect down below. Now they're just being collected in chests here. You can see I've gotten a few oak logs and a few dirt. The dirt was mostly there just for testing. As you can see, like all that dirt to that one, that's a rooted dirt. That's normal dirt. The normal dirt was me just testing that I did these piston tapes correctly, because I don't really do that too often. So while this is a little ugly, it's not the most compact redstone, it's not the most concise, it gets the job done, I'm happy with it, and I'm proud that I was able to kind of figure this out just by, thank you, looking at some stuff and using the knowledge I had. I did also learn a lot about changing a long pulse into a short pulse. I assume there's a fancier term for that, but I'm learning as I go. So yeah, eventually all of this mud will turn into clay, and the clay is mostly what I want, but the mud's good. If I want to get more mud, I'll just remove some of the dripstone. If I want to get more clay, there it goes. I'll cross that bridge once I get to it if I need more clay. Anyway, I had some slimes bothering me. Oh, here comes TNT. Ow. So yeah, that cleared the logs, and it'll eventually get all of this as it gets pushed out. So yeah, I had a lot of slimes come and visit me from kind of all directions as I built. So, looks like I have a few more slime chunks over here instead of just up there. It's nighttime. I'm gonna turn that off just for right now. I don't really know how this works when I'm at a distance. I'm a little worried about it, so I don't want things to break. Turn it off. And let's go up above real quick. Because yeah, it's just cobble, bone meal, which so far has not broken when I go just around the base I have currently. And yeah, a little bit more gypstone. Lava production's doing pretty good. And yeah, right down there is the everything farm. It really is just a bit of everything. And yeah, ugly. Let me show you that. Ugly pot and hopper chain down here. Not too worried about it for right now. If I need to make fancier, I will. But what I really want to do eventually is take all of the drops down there, and instead of having to come back down here, I'll be able to funnel them all the way up to here on this side. As you will see, because I'm now finally showing you, for my crafting crafters, which once again, I just push the button, and I get a crafter. And everything resets. I have crafter recipe here. I have logs, which turn into planks, which turn into crafting table, which goes into here. And I have the same thing, a dropper gets put into there. Because buttons power in a plus sign. I don't really know why, just how it works. But in the back here, this can all come from one singular input, and I can craft as many crafters as I want. So that works by down here, cobblestone and redstone dust for the dropper. And that cobblestone and redstone dust needs to keep coming down for that. But also there's iron ingots that come here, and also some redstone. And then even up above, there's the cobblestone and redstone dust that needs to get the bottom, ingots for the crafter, and then oak logs to come in here to get crafting tables. And that can all just be this input, it can just be chucked in here. So then in theory, if I have a water stream, which then continues this way, so then the water stream goes on top of those blocks, passes over here, I'll be able to continuously fill this up whenever I get more blocks, and just always have crafters at my disposal, which I can probably do with a lot more redstone components. I might even make a smelter over on that side. How rude of you. Which means that eventually, if I go down below, that's where the output is there. Somehow I need to get all the way from down there, all the way up to here. Which is a problem for me to figure out as I continue. And I should probably explain to you what's behind me. But for that, we gotta go to the past. I kinda came across this as I was getting ready to build. Radio from the past here. I think I'm having some deja vu. Um, aren't I supposed to have villagers behind me? Also, just so you guys know, I kind of ran out of space for iron. So I had to make a very quick compactor here. Uh, yeah, I was hoping to get around to compacting it soon, but it just produces way too much. Which, I mean, I guess is a good thing. So yeah, guess I gotta figure out what the problem is with these villagers, and so I can get a little bit more baby production going so I can replace the villagers that I lost. As you can see, it was quite some good ones. I mainly just need this guy. This guy. Come on. There. There we go. This one. The brewing stand. I need redstone. Um, I have no good production, and while I will eventually do the witch farm way down there and behind me, yeah, that's a later problem. Right now, I'm just gonna get some villagers here to get brewing stands, and then ones that I can sell all of that good iron to, so I can get emeralds. So yeah, let's do something that protects them a little bit more. And welcome to the present. I mean, it's still the past relative to you guys, but it's the present for me, and it's much more in the future than I think I intended. So yeah, cliff notes of what happened is I replaced, well, I didn't replace, but the two villagers above my head are now two villagers instead of three. Apparently, yeah, apparently two is better than three. I don't know why I thought three was good, but that's what I did. But I think that was the issues that I was having with them not making more baby villagers. Sending them back to just being two made it, as you can see down there, a lot of baby villagers. Plenty in there, making a lot of noise. That is a lot of feet, and that is a lot of villagers I don't have anything to do with at the moment. The ones that I did need are here. I have two armorers to sell iron to. I have two clerics that give me redstone. And then I have a farmer that can give me more golden carrots. And, don't worry about that rail. So yeah, I have been using these guys to get all the redstone I need, get some emeralds, get some food. I have compacted a lot of iron, and currently just have a lot of poppies here and around. Plenty of iron. Wow. Um, I haven't been doing much work, but I've been doing a lot of AFKing because now I have something I can do that with that's pretty easy in the base. Now, that being said, I don't know if I've shown all of this being oxidized, but now this is the final state that I wanted this to be in, and everything should be waxed. An update on the honeycomb is I have a good stash. Yeah, I still need to eventually make a house for these guys to be at. Shears are, yeah, losing some durability, but still got some life of them. But where I've been AFKing the most, which somehow still triggers all that growth, it triggers the iron farm. It doesn't trigger that plant growth from what I found, though I could be a liar. I have a ender pearl in there keeping that chunk alive. But down here, I have been AFKing with this active. It's not active right now, because I just didn't want the noise going on. But I have so far gotten a pretty good stock of bone meal, which, as you can see in the splitter chest, is now full, and I think it's full up to this one? That one. Oh goodness. That was much more full than I last looked. So yeah, a lot of extra bone meal, and what I am standing on as well is a system that will take all of the leftover moss, compost it, and send it back up to here. Yeah, hoppers are interesting that this takes priority over that. I just run with it. But yeah, I have adjusted this. I forget I can't jump up there. I have adjusted the drain here, and also had to make a barrier because I took one block off of this to get it into the center. Everything else still has been going good. And the spoils have been pretty good so far. That's the one rooted earth that I started with. Got a little bit of mud, but I think there might be a little bit more mud in here if I had this continuously run. I've really only been doing this in bursts, which means that all of this gets to become clay because all this is sitting over dripstone in between uses. So I think if I did let this continuously run for a while, I think I would get a good ratio of mud, at least for me not needing mud and just wanting the clay. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Yeah, happy with this amount. And I do think I will make another moss farm up there. If I turn on like Matica real quick, I've either scoped out one above or one below, or maybe even both. Let's see, can I get a good angle of it? Yeah, right up here. So yeah, I just copy pasted. I mean, I can't really say copy pasted. Let's land first. I scanned that one in, and I just moved it up and below. It's in a way where I can reasonably just connect everything in a hopper chain, get some sort of mass storage at the lowest point, siphon out ones for that, and then siphon out it elsewhere, which I'll eventually make a lichen farm, probably down here, because I might as well. But that is a project for a little bit later. Though I do think I probably should mention and clarify why I mentioned a super smelter over on this side. And that is because this structure here is going to be made out of bricks. And yeah, I can get stuff from villagers, and honestly, I might still end up doing that. Yeah, I wanted to get some bricks in a way that I haven't done before, because I've done all this villager stuff before in other worlds, and yeah, it gets a little monotonous, a little boring, and I want to challenge myself and make farms. So, yeah, I keep going around and around with plans for this building. At one point, I actually had this mapped out to have like 5 1-cell iron farms, but then I realized, wait a minute, let's just make 1 4-cell, and my goodness, is this way more efficient than I need it to be, which is good. So I have so much more room here that I have in the building that I've planned to put some stuff. So I'll put a super smelter over here, probably a bamboo farm that connects it, that powers it. Don't know if I want to try kelp farm, because that's one I haven't tried before. And yeah, gotta do some stuff new. Like I said, I'm learning and having fun here. But yeah, I think that's honestly about where I'm going to leave it for this episode. I'm still figuring out my flow, I'm still figuring out my timing of stuff, and I want to get this video out. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and if you stuck till the end, I do appreciate you. Send this to a friend, let them know. Hit subscribe so that you can see whenever I post my next video. Hopefully it's soon. But other than that, be good to yourself, be good to each other, and be good to the world. This has been Radio, signing off.